Donald Trump signs order. Seeks to clarify NCAA athletes' employment status. Dan Murphy of ESPN wrote this article, and the article says President Donald Trump has directed members of his cabinet to develop a plan in the next 30 days. So we are pretty much almost 7 days in. So we talking 23 days more.
Mm-hmm.
Aim at preserving college sports opportunities and preventing college athletes from becoming professionals, according to an executive order he signed Thursday. Trump's order sets out specific guidelines for preserving athletic scholarship based on an athletic department's annual revenue. It is also declared that schools should not permit athletes to accept third party pay for play payments. The order states that Secretary of Education Linda McMahon should use future federal funding decisions, among other tools, to force schools to abide by the administration's policy. Before you even start, see, I had it ready for you. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce to you a new segment of the show. Coming out the gate, we already got a fight night because Cole Johnson, he's been burning up for almost a whole week for this one. Should I give you the full screen, sir?
It doesn't matter. You can give me the full screen. Heck, you could have the full screen. Now just rant. It doesn't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, round one.
I did not hear. I did not need to hear. I did not need to see the name Donald Trump nor hear the name Linda McMahon. And that right there, it puts me in prime frothing condition because you're trusting education to a woman who we both know very well. I mean, she is. I don't know if she's still married to Vince McMahon, but the former president of WWE. But right now looks as though she needs that she's been heavy doing the Botox injections on the face. I think she knows better how to do that and could tell people how to guide how to make their face look better than how to steer any education of lower, middle class, or higher learning. And then we get to the president. I get why he wants to dip his toes into the NCAA. And he wants to dip his toes in that because he feels compelled that he's a fan, and he will always be a fan, and that's how he will be, and that's how he will paint it, and that's how he'll project himself to be, and that's how he paints himself in this picture. NCAA, you are greedy. I mean, it's just straight greedy. I had to deal with this BS last week with the basketball arm of you wanting to expand the playoffs from already 68 teams where you make billions of dollars in that tournament. But I guess you're not making enough in football, and is what draws all these institutions to you. Football, you can scratch basketball off the list. Football makes so much money hand over fist. It probably helps every PWI that I know, and maybe even some HBCUs, but definitely every PWI that I know that's considered Division 1 or 2, maybe, to actually have school. So I get that you have this itch, you have this feeling that, well, it'll be cool if we link arms with the government because the kids, they making money, and we got to find a way to grab into the pockets of these players because they were amateurs, and we got away with saying, well, you know what? It's more important with the jersey on the front, the name on the front of the jersey instead of the name on the back. You remember you all saying that? You remember saying that, and now you have NIL come into the play 5 years ago, and now you have coaches like Nick Saban retiring very soon thereafter because, oh Lord, the reins have been gone. It's good that the reins are gone, and they should be gone because you have these 18 to 22-year-olds who They sacrifice all year round. Heck, they even play when school isn't even in session. But you expect them to not draw a dime. And you say, well, you're getting paid with a scholarship. I mean, you get the money there. You can use that money to subsist and survive. The scholarship is not meant for living wages. It's meant to make sure the schooling is paid for. Oh, I forgot. You made sure the school is paid for by getting into the bucks of the pockets of every single rich and wealthy, successful person you could possibly find. Why should I even be shocked? Why should I be angry? Why should I even be surprised?
Would you like a quote from Donald Trump himself?
Please.
All right. He says, quote, a national solution is urgently needed to prevent this situation from deteriorating beyond repair and to protect non-revenue sports, including many women's sports that compass the backbone of intercollegiate athletics. Close quote.
Mr. President, it's unfortunate that we do have a system where basketball and football players, for the most part, maybe even some baseball players, they earn money off of name, image, and likeness. And for those who don't know, that's what the acronym NIL stands for. But you know, probably better than most, football draws so much revenue. They draw so much revenue that the other sports that don't get paid, I mean, yeah, field hockey, track and field, swimming, and you can go on and on, tennis, and so forth and so on. That, yeah, it would be cool if they would get money. Yeah, that'd be great. But you have been in the business world, sir. I would dare say, what, 50 plus years? Maybe 60? What was the thing that your father taught you about business? If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. The other parts of the intercollegiate athletics don't make dollars. So if they don't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. But basketball and to a lesser degree football, I mean to a basketball and to a larger degree football does. That's how many of these schools actually stay erect. And if that would not be the case, then why should we complain about these athletes who are making what, tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars per these big institutions? If they are driving that much revenue with the play that they're putting forth on the field, or in the basketball case on the court, but since this is football, on the gridiron, then what should it hurt the athletes to get paid for it? If these schools are getting paid tens of millions of dollars to be in a bowl game, forget what they draw in each of their home games. If they get tens of millions to be in a bowl game, don't you think? Don't you think that there should be some recompense? Don't you think there should be some type of stipend, some type of payment system in place? Look, it would be great if other sports gets paid. It'd be wonderful. But name me another sport in collegiate sports that draws as much money, makes as much money, and pulls as much revenue as football. I'll wait. And that's why it is important, it is imperative, and it is necessary for how it is now. And it's not going to go or spiral out of control, because outside of basketball and football, maybe to a much smaller degree, baseball, none of the other sports draws as much revenue as those two. And when that day comes where it does, then fine, let it trickle down to them. But if last I checked, NIL is deals that the player makes with businesses. So it doesn't matter where you are. You can do this if you didn't play football or basketball. So how is it considered out of control, Mr. President, if the deal is made and struck between the player and the business? And speaking of business, you all should get out of the player's business and let them make their money. Greedy suckers.